remember those great people who made build this organization to this level. And with that, I start my pitch of the product. And I'm ready today for the discounts. So we are ECAPS Computers India Private Limited. Been associated with you since the last 15 years. Do not need any special introduction. But just it's as a protocol, I need to introduce you our organization. We are in the business of cyber security and network infrastructure. So today we only concentrate on the cybersecurity portfolio. In this area of our expertise, we represent about in about 10 odd companies as national distributors. Uh, I'm sorry. What we do, uh, we are in the business of cybersecurity. In the cybersecurity, threat intelligence, network protection, endpoint protection, mail gateway protection. These are our core areas. IoT, security, and industrial cybersecurity, another part of our product profile. Uh, Network, firewalls, identity and access management, single sign-on solutions, multi-factor authentication. So this is the core area of our vulnerability management, compliances, file integrity monitoring, and compliances. These are our expert areas. Web application firewall, API security, privileged access management, mobile device management, and also remote access, not listed here, remote access. Okay, this is about one of our principals with whom we have been associated for very long, since the time they have been in India or even before. Kaspersky. Kaspersky is one of the four largest cybersecurity organizations in the world. Uh, about close to about 500 million users worldwide use Kaspersky products. We are one of the most awarded products, about 86 times where we participated independent surveys and tests. Almost 69 times we have stood on the first top three. And also I would like to tell you, somebody mentioned about Gartner. From the last couple of years, due to the geopolitics, Gartner is not evaluating us. But we don't, customers pay us to evaluate us. Are in Gartner Peer Insights, where it is basically a feedback from the customers. They rate us very highly. You can check this from the last few years. In the Peer Insights, we have been on the top 1 to 3. Okay, I just get into the. We are present in over, Kaspersky is present in over 100 countries, about 3,000 plus employees, 1,200, the team of 1,200 in the R&D alone, working real time to help our customers to secure their assets. So this also gives us a good market intelligence, which also has become a business model, which I'm going to present it when I present the products. Kaspersky, most of you know as an endpoint security service provider. So we have, be it on-premise or on cloud or even hybrid cloud, we have solutions. Even we have endpoint detection and response. These are the basic product which you all are aware of. So apart from this, we also have a huge enterprise range of products. So Kaspersky from end to end is a very can give a competition to individual companies which make certain specific products as well. So our other security solutions, also network protection and mail gateway, mail server protection, Kaspersky anti-targeted attack platforms, automated security awareness platform, unified monitoring and analysis platform, What's more important, which I also mentioned with our 1200 R&D team, which continuously working on the threats. So we are on real time able to help our customers with any kind of new threats which are coming in the market. With this, we have also developed the threat intelligence, which is used in a threat intelligence itself is a product, where we have multiple factors like Kaspersky threat lookup, threat data feeds, and cyber trace. These are basically from the threat intelligence product portfolio. We also products which can integrate with the third-party security controls, and we also have Kaspersky SD-WAN solutions, XDR platform on OT segment. This is again a very large segment which we are focusing on in the enterprise segment. And we also expert and managed services like what you call MDR today. We have also, which is these services also we offer. This entire components and plus the product XDR becomes the crux of our entire product profile. So this is and we offer managed services by Kaspersky or also by independent MSPs, all depending on the customer's requirement. NetFox Firewall is basically an in-house brand developed by us, where here we make next generation firewall, AAA hotspots, and then also SD-WAN solutions, and also work from home solutions. So the Make in India possibility, Make in India qualification, not only for the government establishments, it also gives us an opportunity to take feedback from our customers, and also at site, we can make our product more customer friendly. This is an advantage over our other competitors. And in the South, we are already fairly a big name against all major players because of this, and we have acquired very good logos in this product NetFox in the southern market, which we are also now opening it out in the other regions of the country. So in the NetFox, okay, it's not a discussion here, but in the NetFox we also have our own products, labeled products for active and passive networking solutions. So one login is in the space of identity and access management solutions. This is a business leader in that segment. It belongs to the group One Identity, which again is part of the Quest group, which is a very large group. We have been, this company was founded in 2010, and in India, the products are available since 2018. So this basically helps our customers to secure their workforce in terms of the identities of their workforce, their customers, their partners. So this is what we provide, and the products are basically identity and access management solutions, single sign-on solutions we have, multi-factor authentication we offer in this product, and user lifecycle management are the key products in the case of One Login. And we have about, across the world, we today manage about 50 million identities in this product, and about 3,500 plus semi-labs compatible. We support them. And the best part is we have about 89% of the customers coming back rate, year after year. The customer once bought One Login, and the possibility of renewing it for the next time is much, much higher. Thank you, sir. So we have also from Fortra, we are the national distributor for Fortra, the product called as Tripwire, which is in the space of compliances. Okay, here we have basically products which is RBI compliance products for the banks and financial institutions. This is a company founded in 1997 with about 3,000 plus employees today, and about big part of 65 plus patents, and it's growing. And we have worldwide about 30K customers for this product. This product ensures compliance with the regulatory bodies and standards. This protects the critical systems and data of customers, reduce security risks. So the key product portfolios are vulnerability management file integrity monitoring, security configuration management, and security beyond compliance. So these are the products. And Prophase we have been working with them since very recently, from the last 6 months. This is an Indian startup founded in 2017 by a very young team based out of India. And this has the credibility, the world's first Kubernetes web application firewall and API security product. They also have products for the cloud and then also on-premise today. It's a very very good product. I can tell you, in the 5 years, they have already reached the leadership quadrant in KuppingerCole, which is an equivalent of Gartner in Europe. This is a big achievement for an Indian company. And in fact, I think I decided that I not speak about customers, but I think this is something which I need to speak here. Prophase is the only company which mitigated the attack, DDoS attack, in the Indian airports. There are attacks few months back in the Indian airports. So there is only product, web application firewall, which mitigated that attack. So the advantage of this product, it is not a legacy signature-based product. It's a behavioral-based equipped with the artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities. So it's a layer 7 DDoS protection, and it protects API security. It offers for all the web applications. Valix is a European leader in privileged access management. So it is basically a French company, also about not very young company, already in the leadership in Gartner quadrant. So this offers, all the products which we mentioned about threats from outside. But this basically works on internal threats or the data which is stolen from the company. It works on that, to protect our customers against that. And it helps, in stolen credentials or elevated privileges. It basically helps our customers to protect them. And SOTI, which is the mobile device management company, we are the national distributors for that. And then there are, so how much the discount now? Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. Just a moment. I'll just, SOTI. And then AnyDesk, which is basically remote access product, which all are aware. It's a very reputed product. And this is where we are based, headquartered in Coimbatore, and multiple offices in the southern, Chennai, Madurai, Cochin, Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Vizag. And out of the southern region, we are also available in Pune. I myself is in Pune, Mumbai, Kolkata, and New Delhi. And all these places we are equipped with sales as well as pre-sales, post-sales support. We have about 50 plus certified engineers with skills on 150, with skills on multiple technologies and domain. The total strength is about 150 plus people. And we probably serve about 10 premier brands in the networking and cybersecurity arena, with direct OEM support. ECAPs ensure cutting-edge solutions that empower partners to navigate. With a legacy spanning decades, ECAPs, we are also about 30-year-old company. So this is our product. I would also like to, there are two, in Isoda, I saw it yesterday, there are two people from Tamil Nadu who are very popular, not to disrespect the others. One was Thalaiva, and the other was Gunashekharan. Also very popular on the social media. Whoever discussions was on the social media. So today, unfortunately, he had to leave early today, but we also have our co-founder with Guna, Anbu. So he's the face, I think, being introduced to you for the first time. So thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. So, and we also have the lady from our Bangalore office as well. Thanks a lot, sir. I think maybe we can discuss discounts now offline. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
We have the next presenter.
All the best, sir.
Vanakkam. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Jinendra. Jai Jhulelal. Who are the Sindhis? Jai Jitendra. Assalamu alaikum. Am I audible? Okay. My name is Anil Bhavnani. Can I have a... Sorry. Okay. I'd actually planned to tell you all a little bit about myself because quite a few of you don't know me personally. But as I was coming up, I remembered what my wife has to say about me, which is that I'm totally worthless. And you know, wives are always right. So I'll get on to something which is more worthwhile and not waste your time, which is my company. Okay. I'm from Rank Secure. We're national distributors for 11 international companies, and we provide end-to-end cybersecurity services. We've been around for 36 years. Been there, done that. Doesn't it look like that? So our group companies, the first one is Rank Computers. We are into IT infrastructure rentals. We supply to 14 cities across India. Our specialization in rentals is servers. We have workstations, storage, as well as laptops and desktops. Second company is Digital Group, which is a marketing and branding agency. We help companies scale up. Our main customer base is out of India for this particular business. Today, I'll be speaking about Rank Secure. Like I said, we represent 11 companies and we do end-to-end cybersecurity services. Unlike most distributors, we are different because our products are very, very unique. They are not run-of-the-mill. They are very high margin products and most of them have very low competition. So when you people are tired of fighting for every percentage point, come to us. So the 11 companies we represent, we cover cybersecurity, backup, operations, endpoint management, computer maintenance solutions, monitoring, cyber risk quantification, data replication, data classification. We have unique energy saving solutions as well as third-party vendor risk management. That is the product range. Now, our cybersecurity services, we are one company which has the widest range of services, right from audits to VAPT to forensics to training and lots more. So absolutely anything you require in cybersecurity services, we should be able to provide it to you. We also provide cybersecurity services as a white label service. In case any of you are interested to join hands with us, we can work under your label. Important thing is we've been around for 36 years. We've seen how people treat partners and we don't want to be like them. So all our deal locking is confirmed in writing. Your customer stays your customer. It's as simple as that. We provide most complete pre-sales and post-sales supports. All you need to do is open the door and we can work jointly and help close the deals. Day before yesterday, PDP bill was passed in the Rajya Sabha and it's soon to become a law. So we were planning for this and we saw a few opportunities which we now have solutions for. The first one being data classification, because people need to know where their information is before they can really save it from cyber attacks. Second thing is cyber risk quantification, which is a very new thing. Every company today will have to go for cyber insurance. But how do they know how much cyber insurance to take? So this solution will give them a very scientific way to determine their cyber insurance as well as reduce the amount of cyber insurance risk, which I'll explain later some other time. This is going to be a very big area, third party or vendor risk management. Because each company whose data is out, they are responsible for managing the integrity of the data. They have to vet their suppliers. They have to vet the security postures of the suppliers, a big field. And we have a very super solid solution from Israel for that. And lastly, audits and assessments are going to be really booming because of these obvious reasons. So we can help jointly address that needs with you guys. Coming to our product line now. We represent Data Locker, the world's leader in encrypted hard drives and pen drives. Sorry, my bad. These can be remotely managed and they're military grade. This is the second product. It's data classification solution, the only kind in the world, only one in the world, which can automatically classify data with over 90% accuracy. Most data classification solutions, if you implement, takes you months to actually do it. In this solution, you can do it in days, if not weeks, with over 90% accuracy. It's again an Israeli solution, very, very unique. The third solution is the world's top certified hard disk wiping solution. Most of the solutions we have will be very, very high tech, and they have the best technology and the best price possible in most cases. So this is the world's top certified hard disk wiping solution. Whenever companies need to discard their old computers, they need to wipe data. This is a world's best one, which also gives an audit certificate for every wipe. So that's the use case for this. Then we have an award-winning backup solution called Altero. It's specifically for VMs and O365. And again, for both of them, this is probably the best in the world in terms of what it does in the price. Then we have an email encryption solution from Beachhead, US. We have a third-party risk management solution, like I mentioned. It's from a company called Rescue. It's an Israeli company. This is the cyber risk quantification solution, which will help you organization quantify how much insurance they actually need. Can anybody guess what this could be? Yes, it's asset and patch. So we have two solutions. One tailored for small organizations from 50 users to maybe say 500 or 1,000 users. And the second is a enterprise level asset and patch management solution. So we offer both the things in this. We have employee monitoring solutions. This is a very unique solution we have. It's a professional tool for maintaining computer maintenance. I don't have time to explain it here, but typically it is useful for companies who provide computer maintenance services to their customers, as well as organizations who have their own IT internal departments which manage the computers. So if you have clients in any one of this, let's talk. This is a fantastic product and it's really has no competition. This is a PC and mobile platform for encryption essentially, and it does a lot more things. It's like a semi-MDM, but the stress is on encryption. Cloud security. We have one of the world's best solution from an Israeli company called Orca. If anybody are in cloud, they would know. Samir. This is again a very unique solution. It's a compression and replication solution for very demanding environments. Its typical use case is maritime or oil and gas or Navy, Air Force and Army, ideally. So recapping, this is what we do in terms of solutions. I still have 1 minute. What's the last one? I can take it offline because I don't want to give much discounts. So coming to the end of the presentation, if anybody wants, these are our websites. You can have a look. Thank you so much. I have 30 seconds. Any questions? One of the maximum discounts is 200%. I mean, a markup on one of my products. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. 200% is you can easily get. That pro tool for computer maintenance, 200% margin when you sell it to the end customer. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So we have e-com. Mr. Gautam Raj.
Thank you. Check. Oh, I'm so sorry. I think the name has to be changed. Okay. So good afternoon, you, my Isodian friend. Myself, Gautam Raj, your Isodian family members, and your friend. I have been associated with Isoda for almost 7 years now. 14 years in IT business and overall 20 years of experience in IT industry. As we all are in the in the same journey, looking at the market with my experience, our traditional business is moving into three paradigm. One is the traditional, the on-premise. The second is hybrid, and the third one is pure cloud. So realistic, indirectly we all are part of cloud business. We want to be the part of the partners to act as their own and the customers to get offered from just sales, service and solutions. Today, me and my colleague, Mr. Amarnath, will take you to the service, what we can offer, and we can work together. Over to you, Amar.
Can you hear me? Hi, hi, hi. Good afternoon, everyone. I think after lunch looks like it's silent. Hi. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, thank you. This attention at least helps us to be a little motivated when we are doing sessions, right? So a quick one, my background. So I used to be with Microsoft for almost 12 years, and I used to manage the OEM business relationship and strategic partner relationship from Microsoft. And recently, me and Gautam started these services looking at the space where the partners are struggling, the way how we've seen the era is moving entirely into indirectly, everyone is doing a cloud business. Do you all agree with this? Everyone is selling some products of cloud. George, please. Yeah, thank you. That's what the main important thing is. And basically, in next 5 to 10 minutes, we have just 10 minutes. So I would like to introduce what all the things we are thinking of, how we are trying to help to the partner ecosystem. Majorly, the plan what we have been coming up with is supporting the infrastructure services on various platforms. And being ex-Microsoft and being a sub-distributor for Microsoft services from Gautam, majorly we started with the Microsoft product lines. We start supporting on implementation, migrations, or adoptions, or training the end customers. This is one of a core area which we have seen a lot of valuation, especially with the end customers, because the model of traditional selling has changed to model of enabling the services and sales. You all agree with this? You all would have been receiving this kind of queries, obviously, right? So that is where our core strength come in, and majorly we start with all the products of Microsoft, and we support on all various scenarios post sales of your product. That is the total simplification I can able to explain. All the top 5, 6 things which I can able to talk. But to start with, everyone would have been selling Windows operating system. You all? Anyone not sold to any customer Windows operating system? You have not sold anything, sir? Okay. And you also? Perfect, right? But majoritarily, everyone knows Windows. It's a simple language, right? Simple product which everyone knows of it, right? So I just wanted to give 2 examples how we are able to see evaluation with the client operating system of Windows 11 on the infra side of a server, where every partner actually can get more revenue opportunity and more relationship building with the customer, just not from the sales. That's the total thought process behind it. And because of the time limit, I'm just taking a simplified step. So for example, if we think about Windows 11, what the shift has been now is Windows 11 is something which they brought it as a security angle. That's first thing. Everyone know Windows 10 was the last version. Now, when Windows 11 came in, they were considering about the security as an aspect. Obviously, we all sell it with the devices, right? Now, beyond that, what is that we are able to gain the relationship from the customer, right? So by selling more products on M365, when we are selling an M365, we get a scope to support more services to be implemented like an autopilot or an Intune or for a security angle, right? These are all some things which, as of now, we feel a lot of tier 2 partners and tier 3 partners are missing because they are just doing transactional. So that's where we can come in and help you out. And beyond, if certain customers, if they have some specific technology demand where they want to have a simplified solution, where they want to take the help from Windows angle and connect to employee to connect from anywhere. In that case, basically you get a Windows 365 or VDI scenarios. Basically the operating system is still Windows, but on top of it, how do we create our layers? That's one of a value point which I could see. And secondly, from the server angle, sorry if I'm so speed because I'm just trying to think about my timelines here, right? And majority of our customers or the partners, we sell hardware. Everyone, at least some people would be selling a hardware service. Yes? And once you sold it, what all the opportunities you have? Especially on a Windows server, I'm just speaking about, right? Just wanted to emphasize that how we started with is rather going and pitching that we can sell a service, rather we went and educated the end customers saying that, do you know the built-in capabilities of Windows Server, what you are investing for? So for example, I'm talking about disaster readiness built-in. Anyone know any tool within Windows Server disaster readiness related? I'm speaking Windows Server, not cloud, sir. Just a Windows Server. Yeah, that's what. So within Windows Server, you have a built-in disaster recovery tools for virtualization and storage. This is something which I started educating the people. The same way, one is called a Hyper-V replica for virtualization, and for the storage, it's a storage replica, which is absolutely free. It can be managed from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and to the cloud as well. That's one of the important points. Second is built in a lot of security features. So one of the example which I was discussing from morning with few people, DDoS attack. This is a common language we speak. There is a built-in feature with Windows Server. Only the point is, if we are educating the customer, that's where we get more services. That's where they start using it. That's the point, right? And third is a patch management. For all the softwares, whatever we are using within the infrastructure, you have a built-in capability for patch management within Windows Server. How many of our customers are using? That is one of the big questions to be asked, right? And the fourth important thing is VDI. VDI has become so much demand post-COVID. Everyone knows that, right? And all of the customers, at least some 70-80% customers, has a Windows environment, but they are not using the built-in capabilities of VDI. This is one of the important basic benefit which I could see. And the latest trends, which is like containerization or Kubernetes management kind of stuff, which is all part of Windows Server. So in this scenario, when we actually start helping to the customers, we see more opportunities to give them the right hybrid approach, promoting the Azure services or managing their entire infrastructure with the system center, or helping them to manage the hybrid setup with the Azure Stack HCI kind of scenarios. Anyone heard Azure Stack HCI as a solution from Microsoft recently? Thank you, right? So how many of you are selling this product? Perfect, right? So what are the opportunities you get after selling the product? No, right? Because majorly the implementation mechanism is still very much new. Customers are still struggling. That's where the opportunity is. And being Azure Stack HCI is a hyper-converged infrastructure, Windows servers gives more space to us on any other hyper-converged solutions as well. Take VMware, take Nutanix, take Cisco. Any virtualization, they require a built-in capability features like Windows Server. So customers are still adopting it. So in Microsoft terminology, being just Microsoft, I want to say, when we attach directly on the server, we call it as a primary server. When we attach on the other virtualization solutions or the hyper-converged, we consider it as a secondary OS, right? So, sorry. And to make it simplified, everyone know hyper-converged, correct? Okay, it's very simple. If we want to manage the latest trend of infrastructure, which is software defined, just think of it, the left side is basically our rack server, which is 42U in most of the old setups we used to see, right? Because that time the technology was dependent as interconnected with hardware and software, like virtualization fabrication or a storage connectivity or the virtual machines, right? Now with the hyperconverged coming into the picture, entire thing can be managed within the software. That's basically a hyperconverged in a simple language, which is like a software-defined virtualization, software-defined storage, and software-defined networking. These are all built-in capabilities with Windows Server version. And one of the differentiation what we have seen is when comparing with the competitors or when comparing with the HCI solutions, right? When it comes from the Microsoft side of Windows Server opportunity, it's basically supposed to be spent only for 2 hardware nodes to start with for the hyperconverged and 1 data center license or 2 data center license for 2 nodes. And price, whatever the expenditure which customer has to do is only for these 2 layers. When it comes to the other hyperconverged, which has been there from decades, they have to pay for every layer. Like virtualization layer, they have to pay by a socket. For basically, if you are looking at on a networking, they need to pay by socket. This is how the different solutions comes up, right? This is what we have differentiated in last 1 year. We see a lot of customers are happy that they are saving money and they are reusing it for the other cloud services for us. They're helping us for M365 adoption or Azure security implementations and all, because we are just helping them what they have invested with. That's how the differentiation we brought. And majorly, even if you consider a HCI from Microsoft, there are 2 approaches. One is Azure Stack HCI based opportunity, where customer has a hyper-converged infrastructure set up just with single node. No other hyper-converged solution has a minimum with single node. And the second is when it comes from a Windows Server angle of a hyper-converged, it starts with 2 nodes. All the other hyper-converged scenarios starts from 3 nodes. That's the major difference. And the flexibility what Microsoft brought is actually standard and data center editions, which you can use both in the HCI OS. Correct? So in a simple manner, from the HCI perspective as well, we start generally if any customer engagements or a partner engagements comes is rather getting into directly transaction. First, we try to train them and educate them, and we help them to understand their existing infrastructure. And accordingly, we help them for the next steps on it, right? Especially the migrations from the older server. Okay, so before I leave, just want to ask one question. This is my team, by the way. So entire team, few of you know all our colleagues like Shobha, Raghu, and Gautam, right? And before closing, just want to ask one last question. I'll just take another 15 seconds, sir. Do you know the opportunity size of Windows Server refresh now in India? Anyone know? Server 2012 is end of support. That's what Microsoft has been bombarding from last 2 years. Like October 10th is something which they are looking at. Do you know the size of it in India itself? So, anyone guess? Okay, 40 to 40% of overall market. Yeah, similar nearby. So it's almost 340K units minimum is a refresh opportunity. That is where we are also focusing on this, and we are actually taking the benefit of end of support from Server 2012 and Windows 7 as well, so that we are able to help to the customer with the right technology adoption and helping them for the services deployment too. Thank you, everyone.
So just to add, Amar, we have started working, collaborating with partners and working as their team. If someone wants to avail the facility, we can, work together on their customer base. We have an NDA which we can sign, and then probably we can take it forward. And the last, I would like to thank Isoda, and I would like to add as a member here that my customers are with me, my Isodian members are with me, my friends are with me. So please, please, please don't badmouth, what I am here. And thank you for what I am here because of you guys. Thank you so much.
So the next person is, the next company is DMAC. DMAC.
This can't be my picture. Uh, so am I audible? All right. So thank you so much, Isoda, for allowing me to present today, and my colleague Rajesh. I think everyone knows Rajesh more than me, so I'm happy that he's on board. And the objective is to work together with more of you. So I hope today I'm going to talk about DMAC, our product. Yeah.
Friends, can we have silence, please? Friends, requesting you, please.
Thank you. Yep.
Thank you.
All right. So today we are going to talk about DMAC and what we do and what opportunities we present to the community. And I'm sure there are a lot of opportunities. We have worked with several of you, and we've closed very large ticket transactions. And I'm very glad to say that last year, one of our partners helped us close the largest ticket size for us, which was about 1.5 crores. So for us, it was a big deal. So thank you, the Isoda community for showing us the path. I will certainly will do so. Will do so. So what we do is basically we have one platform for document management and business process management. It is a single product which basically helps organizations manage their documents, and it enables workflows and processes which are not covered by a typical ERP. And we are very strong on some of the sectors like real estate, infra, BFSI, manufacturing, of course, entertainment, media, and retail. So in most of these industries, we have done integration with core ERPs, including Oracle, SAP, Microsoft Dynamics, Tally, so on and so forth. And we are fairly strong in integrating with HRMS as well. So some of our competitors have their DMS running like in Bajaj Finance, etc. But our product also runs on the side for human resources, business process management. And we have also been extremely successful in migrating from legacy document management system, including from NewGen. We recently migrated from NewGen in Bajaj Housing Finance, which is one of our landmark projects. We have migrated from IBM FileNet at Shapoji Palanji, and we have migrated from Documentum at SBI Mutual Fund. So our DMS product is well established, and all you need to do is open the doors to us, and our team will do all the sales, support, service, installation, implementation, everything. You have the opportunity to sell your infra. In most installations, when we sell a DMS, they look for an infra. So there's a natural, advantage for you to sell your infra. Cybersecurity is always important in this, industry. Our new solution, which we have introduced in the last year, is an e-forms-based business process management. So basically, a lot of companies, even today, use physical forms for applications, for KYC, customer onboarding, even for budgetary approvals. We recently digitized almost 100 processes for an Oman-based company, and entire 100 processes were moved to India in Bangalore, where everything now runs in a Bangalore BPO kind of an outfit on our platform. So that's a fantastic case study where a company which was using everything on form has migrated to our electronic digital management platform, and all the content, right from a manager to the chairman, is working on our platform to sign their business processes, approvals, and there we have integrated with JD Edwards. So one of the beauties of our system is that it can integrate with most ERPs. And one of the reasons is we have a master data management module, an MDM module, which allows the connectivity in a seamless manner. These are our clients. So we're working with mostly large corporates. Across India, we have clients in Singapore, Sweden, in Middle East, Oman, a few customers in Africa, and a few in Europe. So across the spectrum, we have customers, and we'll be happy to. We are looking for partnerships outside of India as well. So I was glad to hear somebody saying that we have an office in Dubai and we are expanding. So we'll be happy to participate with partners who have overseas offices or channels open for this purpose. So we sell both as cloud, as SaaS, as well as on-prem. And we're going to have a short video of one of the integrated products just to show you. Let's see how it works. Not sure what I'm supposed to do. Nope, that was not what I'm supposed to do. Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, so that was a quick clip of how we have integrated with Tally, but a similar integration we have done for SAP, Navision, Oracle, blah, blah, blah. So it's a two-way integration. You can upload documents from your ERP into a DMS. That becomes a repository, and we service it back to the ERP, so you don't have to come to a DMS. So that's one of our USPs. It's a seamless integration that we offer to our clients. So as a partner, we do all the standard things that you expect. So we'll lock the case for you. We will help you manage the content. You can cross-sell your hardware. And of course, we will support you in the demos and POCs and closures. So we're here to work with you. These are some of the commercial aspects. So as I said, last year we did a very large transaction. Most of our transaction sweet spots is between 5 and 10 lakhs. The closure happens within 3 months, typically. The larger deals can take up to 6 months, but the deals, in our experience, in the last 1 year or 2 years, I think 9 out of 10 deals which is concluded, we have won it. Very rare cases we lose on the quality of the product or the features of the product. Where we lose is on pricing. So we are a little higher than the competition from a pricing perspective, but then we provide value too. So we are happy to work with you all. And Rajesh has come on board recently with us. So please reach out to me or Rajesh, and we'll be happy to work with you. And we look forward to working with you. Rajesh. All right. Thank you, guys. On time? All right. Yes.
So as advised, keep it simple. Kamal bhai.
मैं उसी की बात करने वाला हूँ अभी। नमस्कार, गुड आफ्टरनून। हाँ, मैं गुस्सा में हूँ। अब ये तो हेमंत भाई बताएंगे गुस्सा कहाँ से आ गया है। हेमंत भाई anyway, so सबसे पहले तो thank you very much. I think today the way I'm going to talk, I don't think I have ever talked in front of any audience in my life. And I think today's morning session, which were done by Ramji, I think I could really correlate to that. And I'm going to talk in line with that. And my belief is that, I think, where is that? Yeah. So what I'm going to talk about, in my view, that I am very, very niche provider. I'm not going to talk much about my organization. I'm going to primarily talk about whatever I have learned and what ways possibly all of you can learn from that. And we together can conquer this world or this particular domain where I think majority of you are not working. So you work with me, not work with me, I'm okay with that. But I feel this is one area which you are leaving a lot on table. So this certainly is an old photograph. I don't think I am part of this, but I think it is for all of us. That's what I thought. And this line was totally about the Roman Emperor Julius Caesar, and he said for himself. But I believe I would want to say this for each one of us. Okay, and now, so this is about me, and I thought when I was really looking at some of you who know me, I have been around in the industry for almost 30 odd years, but I started my own, and why I have stick to backup as industry. And this was a question which number of people asked me that, Kamal, how come you have struck yourself to this industry? And when I went inside and I really did some work, and what I really saw is that my father was a government employee, and then he started his own. And 2nd Jan 1978, he told my mom that his business flopped. He was shifting from Meerut to Delhi. And for a while, even he thought about taking a sannyas, that I have done enough, I could not do well. So possible it's time for me to take a sannyas. But then he left Meerut, where I was born. And my mom, who was a government teacher, he told her that, Toshi, you take care of these children. And there are 3 of us, and 2 of them you can see in this photograph. And whomsoever survive, I will take care of their higher education. I will try to stand. And on 4th Feb 1986, my Taya Taiji both passed away, and we became 6 from 3. And that time, my father, I was in 12th, he asked me, he used to call me, Bittu, would you join me in my business? And he had a mechanical workshop. I said, why not? Family needs this, I will do that. And then we had a pact. If I could get myself selected in a good college, then I will go. Otherwise, I'll go and join him. So I went to NIT Warangal. And my father used to say that he could reboot or he could start his mechanical workshop again because of my mom and my nanu. And his statement used to be that they rebooted me. So family being the biggest backup. So I think that is something which I got from those times. And that's how possibly I got hooked to that. And then post that, Elnova, UPS, of course, I used to be part of it, TCS, IBM, Tempo, 20 plus years. And my father would say, Kamal, you used to call about starting your own, and we used to think on those lines. That's a history. I don't think that you are going to come on this side of becoming employer. And 12 December 2011, something happened. The company I was representing as a country manager wound up. And I wrote in my book in detail about that. And that day, somehow I could really grab that opportunity, get that Indian business, and start this backup line. And 15 to 17, I tried a couple of more lines. I went into infra services. I went into IoT, 2 failed businesses, a heart attack, and possibly my wife and me talked about, and then that was in Hyderabad. I was alone. And so is it time to go back to employee mode again? But somewhere for me, it was no way. I think whatever 70, 80 lakh rupees losses and all that, whatever we have done, for sure we can take care of it and go back. So again, that particular aspect of family is the biggest anchor came my way. And all of you have got that puzzle or that game that you have in your table. So that game was a one which I found in my father's treasure. When he passed away in 2007, so the game was there. And as a child, what he used to always inculcate in me, that Kamal, there are only 2% of persons who are employers in this world. And I would want you to be one of them. And I would want you to create more and more contribution and for sure profit. So this game reminds me of him and reminds me of the kind of resolve that I have for this line. And even each one of you, I will say that you are contributing in whatever little or big ways to this economy of the India or the world. So you are employers. And I'm very happy that I am narrating this story of life of mine in front of you. Thank you very much. I'm really moved right now. And I would want to see in whatever little ways I could contribute to each one of you at this moment. And when I saw three questions which I really see in my this journey. The first one is that, are we spending enough time with our family? Are we really giving them enough emotional and future needs, whatever they have? And majority of the time when I talk heart to heart with my friends, I see the answer is no. Even so, I would want you to ask yourself, because when the time will come tough, they are the ones who will stand with you. And I have seen a lot of cases, uh, you don't find that support, or you are not able to give that support to them. So that is one request which I will make, and as your friend, as your colleague. Yeah. Second question I will say, in your own organization, if you look at, because when it really comes to backup, right? Backup is something which we don't do enough. We think we are small, or we have things on cloud, or we are on OneDrive or Google Drive or whatever, and we don't do enough. And even if you were to say, all of you will say we are doing it, but have you audited enough? Have you seen that when you will need it, would you get that back? So that is one area which I certainly think is a key thing which you want to answer. Third one is your customer. Each one of the person in this room, I believe that you have 20, 30, 40, 100 customer who are your pet customers. You are doing multiple things for them. And you might not be doing it, but are you talking to them? Are they doing backup enough? And even if they are saying backup, they will say yes. But have they done enough audit? Are they really looking at what they need, when they need? Would they get that? Or would the business get impacted? So these are three questions which I would want you to keep in mind. This is my book, which I brought. I think it was released 2 weeks back in Phuket. Number of you have it, and rest of you who don't have it, you can write to me. I can send this to you. I have some copies here with me. And but yeah, of course, I forgot to ask you one question. How many of you could solve that puzzle? Wow, great. Of course, I can't offer all of you, but who's the fastest one? This is the fast one. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. So who's the fast one? I think Limesh will be the fast one. He said 4 to 5 seconds. Where's Limesh? Limesh bhai. Limesh bhai, come, come, come. And this time should not be counted for me. Limesh bhai, nahi hua. Huh? हाँ ट्रिक भी सिखा देंगे बिल्कुल सिखा देंगे यार ऑफलाइन में सिखा दें टाइम ले अलग से करके हाँ सो सो इन दिस बुक नहीं कोई कंफ्यूज नहीं यार भाई लोग बोलेंगे तो कंफ्यूजन क्या होना है यार कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है हाँ जी सो इन दिस बुक आई विल नॉट से टू मच बट व्हाट आई हैव डन इज दैट आई थिंक द मॉर्निंग द वे ही वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट योर internal self and in my view one of the key thing which I saw is that how come I'm connected to backup. So I would want each one of you to look at how what you are doing, whatever you're doing, how come you're connected to that. I've not talked much about this in the book, but I think this is one thing which I request, because number of time my wife says that you are at 11 o'clock and you're still on, because it doesn't bother me, because this is something which is my passion. So and I think majority of you are doing whatever you're doing for a good number of years. So this question, in case you can ask yourself, what is your story? Yeah. And in this book, what I have done is that in a story form, I have said that we take our family for granted. Similarly, take backup for granted. And I have talked about multiple habits. And one habit which I thought will make a lot of sense today is a uh, backup mindset or resiliency mindset. And if you were to talk about family or you talk about any business, right? Whenever you take numbers, whenever you take these many customers you will serve, you always have plan B and plan C for all the critical aspects. So, so that is something which I have tried to talk in this book, and I'm talking about habits of happiness in family. How can we gain? And of course, there is one catch. You know, I've been traveling for last few weeks, and even last Sunday when I was not available, I thought of attending a workshop on magazine writing and all that. So that day evening, when I came home around 10 o'clock, my 18-year son, what he asked me, Kata, Papa, when is the last time you read your book? So the basic challenge is that this book you can for sure read, but take it home with care, because your children, the way they're asking me, Kamal, you should read your own book. So this book, the way whatever we are saying, and this is a practical implementable guide that I have tried. Yeah. But I can help you conquer. So whatever I have learned, whatever I have, so of course, a lot of you are much more knowledgeable than me in terms of whichever line you are. But in backup, possibly I can really do a bit of support with you. And so I am on a mission of backup resiliency. I believe that's one line which is largely ignored in the current light of security, cloud infrastructure, applications. A lot of time organization don't really devote enough attention to that. And so that is something which I am up to, and I'm coming out with different initiative. And here I'm announcing in the next 4 months I'll come out with even a magazine around that, and which will be focused possibly around partners community, because I want to become a backend organization for a lot of partners in whatever ways they can go and support. And then of course training, videos, webinars. I have never done all these earlier, but I'm beginning to that. I love talking to people, and I'm promising that I will take a lot of initiatives and come out with more and more things around that. Any inputs, anything you can give me as a family are more than welcome. Isoda is a family for me. And this is something which I created in last, some of the customer we have been doing backup, archival, recovery, testing, or audit. So these are 5 steps that we have caused for a number of large customers. And my belief is that this is something which you take it from me or anywhere, but this is something which you and your customer should do. You should look at environment, the way environment is, uh, and what ways you can really look at who needs what kind of different aspects are required for what kind of business uses. Then what is the way data collection will happen, in what ways you would really look at from where data is coming, like what, and what kind of tools you can use. There are multiple standard tools. There are few free tools also available. I can support you in really finding those. And with the way business SLAs can be met there, and testing. So which is actually going and testing those on ground. And it could be for different kinds of users or different kind of servers or different kind of application. Different SLAs are required, and you should even question those and talk to business people and see that. And then of course based on that there can be recommendation made, and those recommendation to be implemented. So to my mind, we have got a lot of testing tools for security, but backup I don't think we have too many. And I was talking to even some of my friends even in US. They're saying even there it's quite limited in nature. So this could be a really good opportunity for all of us to go to our customer and offer this. And last one, of course, again, I'm using a Utho, which is a cloud service provider for my support in terms of testing and all that. Oh, I'm sorry. So what happened? I think the screen went away different. Okay. So I'm looking at primarily 5 partners whom I can help. So there's different persons who have been working with me at different timeline. I would want to become a backend. So when I'm saying backend, it could be that you go in the market, we become your backend totally. So which means that we will not say that where we are from where. I'm even open to going to whatever extent, even having mail IDs of your organization or whatever different ways, and providing you the service. You can even buy software licenses yourself. We have tied up with few, and I really plan to become end-to-end solution provider in this space. And the next thing could be that you can do it yourself. I'm open to giving you all the input that I can provide, and you can go through that pathway also. But my request to each one of you would be, this is a critical one. If you are leaving this on a table, which means that your customer will really suffer someday. And if you were to really provide this to them, then for them it will really become that they will support you. And the best part is that whatever security things you might do, just 30 seconds, yeah. So whatever security aspect you might do, that will fail. And backup is something which can really take them, and you can really have other things around. And thank you very much. I am really blessed. I have never experienced myself at the end of any discussion the way I'm experiencing right now. Thanks a lot for all your love.
So we have a trivia question with an Amazon voucher of 1,000 rupees. What were the three mantras from Kamal's learnings you saw on the slide? So anyone who answers it first gets Amazon voucher worth 1,000 rupees.
Family is the backup. Family is the backup.
You have to choose. Huh?
Three mantra.
Family is a backup. Data.
Amanda's saying second one. Third one, Amanda ji. Family about what? You said family, but what about family? Family is the backup.
Quality time to the family.
Who's the winner here? So you can collect your voucher from Rajiv.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So who's the winner? Kamal bhai. So we call upon Satcom, the next presenter.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Kamal sir. I think people like you are always an inspiration for people like us who have, come up a certain level. So there's a lot of learning from your speech today. Thanks a lot. Guys, my name is Manoj Yadav, and I represent my company, Satcom Infotech. I joined this company 20 years back, and I started this journey with Vinod sir. Now I'm trying to relieve him so that he can spend some more time with Isoda, and he's trying to offload a lot of his responsibility to me. Thanks a lot. As I just mentioned that this company started in 2003. Well, it was not a planned decision of Mr. Vinod to come into IT. So whenever I go and meet the partners, most of the partners are asking me the question, how come SATCOM, how it is related to IT? So SATCOM is basically stands for satellite communication. So Mr. Vinod started this company 20 years back when he was dealing with a product called Blue Star. And he used to supply, these satellite communication to a lot of defense customers. And that business was going down. So he was actually attending a small event in London, and that is how Sophos people, the person name was Nimiti Zapat, she offered him that we are looking for a partner in India so that they used to sell antivirus at that point of time. Now today Sophos is a big company, everyone knows, all partners are aware of it. So he brought some CDs along with him, and he started sending to few of their customers. And within no time, Vinod sir got first order of Manipal, which is still our first customer till from 2003 onwards, and they are still with us. And I feel very proud to say that I am being remembered or saved my number as Manoj Sophos, not Satcom, till date. So my primary responsibility is to make me as Satcom person, not Sophos person. Hi Joy, how are you doing? So we have Sophos friends here. Sophos is, of course, has become very big now. So when we used to sell Sophos, I used to go post to pillars, a lot of partners, a lot of customers, but nobody used to, talk about Sophos solution. And nobody was ready to listen also. I think thanks to the existing Sophos team, who has made this product as the household name, or I would say that's a commodity product. Now, whenever people think about cybersecurity, they talk about Sophos and they think about Sophos as their first choice of cybersecurity solution. So we first started our operations in Mumbai, which is our head office. And then we started our Bangalore office, that is our second office. Then Delhi, where I sit. And then we started our Chennai office. We have presence in Hyderabad. We have presence in Pune, Kolkata, Coimbatore, and Kochi. And very soon we are going to have our presence in Ahmedabad and couple of more cities which we are thinking of. We have now 500 partners. Believe me, this is a journey which I have seen. I have seen transforming our company from a small 5 crores company to 220 crores company now. And thank you very much, partners. I think it's all because of you. We have 10,000 happy customers, not only with Sophos, with other products as well. But of course, Sophos is our major principle, and we sell, we support, and we give all kind of support to our partners. So what we do? So being a distributor, it is our primary responsibility to give consultancy skills and services and offer support and guidance to all the companies whosoever is selling or whosoever in this trade. We give end-to-end kind of solution. And what technology we represent? We represent endpoint and email security. We represent encryption, data leakage, that is DLP, gateway firewalls, PAM solution, mobile device management, mail archiving, big data analytics, multi-factor authentication, WAF, which is web application firewall, asset and patch management, log management, mailing solution, and anti-ransomware and EDR. These are the technology which we deals in, which makes us a complete cybersecurity distributor. And what are the value-added services? So when it comes to product demonstration, we have seen that a lot of partners don't have the technical, there's a sales-driven company. So we support them. We ask them, okay, wherever you take us to your customer, and wherever it is required, we'll give product demonstration on behalf of you. We also make the solution designing so that we can cross-sell and upsell for our particular customer. We have our own technical support as well, wherein all our engineers are trained on our technology, and they give technical support as well. These are the product we offer. We have recently signed Archon as one of our major product, which not only gives PAM solution, they also have SSO, they also have UBA, multi-factor authentication, and IDAM solution. We have Ikran, which is a UBA solution, iNephew, which has MFA and big data analytical software. We have got Senesegura as well, that is also a PAM solution, which is a Brazil-based company. Darktrace, I would like to tell everyone that this is one of the product which is very close to my heart. It's a complete AI and ML-based software, which comes with the appliance. Recently, we have closed around 7 deals in last 4 months worth 23 crores. There is a very high ticket size volume product, and I think this product can be sold to all the enterprise customers whomsoever you are dealing with. Sophos, of course, as I said, it's such a bread and butter for us. People know us as Sophos guys, and we are very closely working with the entire Sophos team in India. So these are the few products. I would like to tell something about a product called Home Security. I think a lot of partners have started and transforming themselves into a consulting or auditing companies. So Home Security has launched one product called Consulting Licenses, wherein a partner can own this license and they can run it to their customer and give as a service. This is one product which partners can actually earn a lot of money by doing the consultancy and auditing to their customers. This is unlimited licenses, unlimited IPs, and they can scan n number of times to different various customers. Now we have one product called GFI LAN Guard. So GFI was the second product which we signed in 2009. And since then, we have been selling and giving support to all our partners. They have multiple products, but one product I would like to highlight here is that LAN Guard. It's a complete on-premise patch management tool. And it not only gives you patch management solution, it also have added feature like vulnerability scanning, asset management, and vulnerability management. It detects vulnerability before hackers do. It has web-based reporting, and it's basically comply with all your PCI, DSS, HIPAA, and other compliances as well. I remember one company called Genpact in Delhi, and I was fighting with a company called Big Fix, which has been acquired by IBM. In 2010, I was fighting with them, and there was a lot of POC going on. And believe me, they actually tested 4 products in their environment, and I picked up the order with GFI LAN Guard just because my product LAN Guard has shown them 37 extra vulnerability in their network, even though they were using Microsoft MSS, and their entire network was on Windows. So this is the quality of this product. This is the detection rate is the best in industry as far as vulnerability scanning is concerned. As everyone know, patch management is one of the basic feature which any network should have. And I think LAN Guard is the best fit for all the enterprise and SMB companies. They also have GFI Archiver, wherein they can archive their all the emails on a particular server. Then I would like to present you one more product called Endpoint Protector by Cososys. This is a complete endpoint DLP solution company. As everyone know that this data protection bill has been passed in Rajya Sabha now. So there is a lot of compliance load which is going on a lot of end users now. So Cososys can actually fulfill their compliance requirement when it comes to data leakage. It is already fulfilling HIPAA, GDPR, PCI DSS, and GLBA kind of compliances in the world. It not only stop the leakage, it also has stop on data loss as well. It controls all the devices on your work process, and it completes the regulatory compliance as well. There are multiple deployment options for this product. It can be on virtual appliance, it can be on cloud, and it can be cloud hosted by any customer if they have any Amazon or Azure kind of thing. So ROI of this product, if you compare with the competition, maybe like Forcepoint, is much less. And the best part in this product is that that's the only product available which supports Linux at the endpoint. That is the I would say it's a selling point. So all the partners who have not used this product or not heard about this product, they can come back to me, and I can give all kind of support whenever it is required. It has 4 modules. One is content aware protection, which is normally it has been called as CAP. It has device control, it has enforced encryption, and it has e-discovery. So it scans the entire network, discover the sensitive data, and encrypt it wherever if it is required. All the channels where the data can be leaked can be fulfilled through this. So these are the main modules of Endpoint Protector. This is about my entire presentation. Thank you very much. And I would like to thank all of you for supporting us in the past. And I would like to thank Vinod sir for bringing me here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Manoj. I think you've left your Delhi here. Data leakage. Gulati ji ka. Okay. So the next session we have is Mr. Suraj Malik, who is going to talk on succession and M&A. So, a brief introduction of Mr. Suraj Malik, who is a private client domain expert with vast experience in structuring M&A deals, private equity, corporate and business restructuring, alternate investments, family business, and succession planning. In the past, Suraj has been associated with top tier consulting firms in India and close to 2 decades. He has successfully spearheaded multiple M&A and private equity transactions across sectors involving family-owned businesses and several Fortune 500 companies and companies listed on Indian stock exchanges. He has also advised many startups, entrepreneurs, business owners, HNIs on strategic finance and structuring matters. So, without further ado, I would like to call Mr. Suraj Malik on stage.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Nice to be here. That introduction, I don't know if it meant anything to you. I feel like a dinosaur in the room between technology guys, software guys, as an isolated finance person. But I said through the session, I saw what some of the Isoda members do. And I'm going to try to wrap this up in time. I'm from Delhi. I have a flight to catch as well. But I know you guys have gone through a fair bit of intense learning, workshops, networking, partnership. But what we heard in the last 1 hour, right? We heard about backup, we heard about security, we heard about plan B, document management, right? Most of us are happy to do it for clients. I do it for clients, but when we commit for ourselves, never feels important, right? Procrastinate, delay, do it tomorrow, right? Is the typical attitude everyone has, and more for family-owned businesses because you end to be very much owner-heavy involvement in the business. We saw someone work 20 years in a business and now mention that he's relieving Mr. Verma out of responsibilities. Not everyone is able to get there, and I'm going to talk about some of the constraints and some of the issues which people encounter in doing this in family-owned business in my experience. Now, all of you all are business owners. You all have started a business with these two objectives. There's nothing profit, sabko kamana hai, but that even a salaried guy wants to earn profit and all. Objectives is either you continue it through generations. You expect someone because you took 5, 10, 15, 20 years to build it. You want it to be continued, or you want to exit, right? I have 500 clients, 10,000 customers, etc. That's value. So what you build, you either will get your hard work will pay only with these two things. The P&L transaction debtors is staying busy. All of you all would have got your opportunity cost or little more in jobs as well. But you all are here to create these two things, and most of you, if I may say out of experience, don't spend enough time planning for both. Yahan pe bhi people will discuss transactions, partnerships, deals, discount. Very few people will discuss balance sheet, assets, distribution, rights of other members in the family, etc. Right? So that is what deserves attention. You would have heard many people talk about family businesses don't survive beyond second generation, third generation anyways, makes it all messy. And it's surprising, right? All that data, because you guys are more resilient. You guys are more wanting to leave behind legacy, right? You guys want it to continue. You want someone to take over, but because of lack of planning, second generation, as I said, 50% fall through, and third generation, the data says 3%. When they say 3% survive, it also means the relevance is gone, right? You could run as a shop, you could keep reselling stuff through old contacts, old clients, but if the relevance goes and someone else comes and captures the market. So creating legacy is important. It is pivotal. It is, as I said, the purpose that binds you. Now, every family also, if you think there are rules in the family, I don't know how many of you all work with a sibling, brother, father, son, like how many of you all are solo entrepreneurs or have someone in the family with you? Like how many are family co-owners, co-partners, someone you need to, align and build and work along with, right? So there are unsaid rules. There are things you handle purchase, procurement, I'll handle sales, you handle marketing, I'll handle finance. All that is there, right? But that generally doesn't very easily transition to the next generation because you guys built it together on some understanding, some trust. And there are informal rules. all that starts shattering when it's not, as I said, backup, documented, document management, all that you saw. Family as a system also needs quite a bit of that. And you guys would be hearing more and more about family office emerging, this whole concept of people now devoting resources, manpower, and softwares to manage themselves as families and not necessarily organizations. Because family as a unit is still the most unorganized place. There is wealth sitting there, there's money sitting there, there's initiative sitting there. Your children are overseas, your clients have families which have all extended. So all your logics, what you're taking to a corporate today, because of just size, and if India continues to grow, it will increase. That complexity is also at family. I bet that all of you in this room spend about 3 to 4 days on doing your own tax return, which is a waste of time, right, in terms of your energy and your bandwidth and all. But because you are not organized through the year, that you struggle when 31st July or October comes, right? And if you were just better organized, you would have saved those 3 days for BD, marketing, networking, having more partners. Uh, Now, why this happens? Fairly obvious, right? Why do families not get along and align and all? I've listed some issues out of experience. Could have made it more participative, but I'm conscious of time. The biggest issue is aage kya karna hai? Future strategy, right? Here, alignment, because people are different, their thoughts are different, their energies are different. And this is where it starts breaking, right? Because no two people will think alike in terms of risk they want to take, in terms of the manner in they want to go. If it's two generations, your next gen wants to operate in a very different way. They like the business, they just want to operate in a very different way than what you did. I saw about relationships being documented and all NDAs and all. I'm sure business was done differently in the past than what it is done today. If you are active and someone else in the family is saying, family, we started it together, but you are the only active one, who's benchmarking your performance, who's deciding that are you the right guy to sit on that seat to run that, is something that causes conflict. Remuneration, of course, who gets what, who takes what drawings, how it is distributed, and who can work, right? If it's siblings, some of you all raised hands. I know a lot of you all are solo entrepreneurs, so you all may not be facing it today. But larger families feel this issue that who will come in the business, at what stage, at what level? Do we straight away bring our son to the director board? Should we make him go through the 20-year journey that Manoj had to go through to get to where he is at national sales head? Are decisions which have to be taken and create conflicts. Active members tend to feel they know the business better, they take decisions, they don't consult members who are passively outside or have engaged in something else to increase family wealth. All of you all would have, again, people running more than 10-year businesses have employees which they start liking having around them, whether they're competent, relevant or not. And that's what creates issues between generations, right? Your next generation comes and says, dad or mom, this guy doesn't fit into the way business is done today, but you started liking, trusting, believing in that person because he helped you grow through that journey. So that attachment itself becomes a source of conflict, and that person sometimes that position of power rests very high there, which creates issues. Things like autonomy, role, things. One of the things is, again, if family owned, right? When can someone exit? If someone is looking to do something else or for their family or move outside. So these are all issues that cause conflicts. And I'm saying I'm talking common sense. I'm not talking anything which is rocket science. We all feel it, see it in movies, in own lives, with neighbors. We hear all those instances. Still, as I said, how many people in this room have a will? Yeah, so all of y'all are wealthy entrepreneurs, business owners, and all of y'all have thought about having it at some point of time, especially during COVID, especially when something happened. But you said, I will do it tomorrow because I want to focus on that PNL, that customer, that recovery, that margin, that business tie-up. It's exciting to do that, right? The thought of I'm going to die, people will figure out, right? So plans are plans. They fall like a pack of cards. The reason is, बड़े अंबानी टाटा को चाहिए, मुझे नहीं चाहिए. That's one thought process. Most people will not do it. But wealth is relative, right? 5,000 crores for him is what, 50 crores or 5 crores or 50 lakhs. It's always relative. You worked hard to earn it. If you don't plan for it, in that moment of grief, forget fighting or other things with your family. It will just create more issues for them to enjoy the wealth that you've created. If you've not, done the backups right. Common thing is, karna hai, pata hai, where to start. No one knows what to do. Should I do a will? Some people hear about trusts. Some people think I'll just write a letter to someone. And that's where, that's advisors like Upcome, because people don't know what to do. This is again the most common one. I've thought about it. I'm praying. Everyone in dinner table, we discuss, right? I met my family last Diwali. We were together. We discuss, this goes to you, this goes to you. House goes to daughter, wealth goes to son, blah, blah. But never actually get it down to a legal document or writing, which, necessarily will not achieve your intentions, or your actions may be very different. So actions and intentions in families play a big role. But people just feel I'm indicating my thoughts, the children or my brother or other people will naturally pick it up. It is a difficult task. As I said, the fact that only 5, 6 hands in the room got raised up, you all couldn't see each other. If people having wills, imagine. That's the reason, right? It's not easy. It's almost like going to work out, right? Everyone knows healthy hona acha hai, but again, as I said, you will meet a business client and skip gym because that's more instant gratification. That's more fun in some sense. Some people think, why plan? I will just exit. I will spend in my lifetime. I've heard this a lot. I will, not leave. I will educate my children and I will not leave them anything. I will just enjoy my wealth. In real life, I've not met a single person who ends up spending what he earns. Okay, so you end up leaving generally or losing, but you don't end up spending, consuming, because if you are wealthy, you start spending with both hands open, it doesn't get over, right? It is of some relevant size, especially for the people in this room. It will not, you can't consume your wealth when you're old. You will not have sometimes the best health through travels, splurge, etc. So you need to plan. Who do you plan with is a limitation often. And as I said, right, most common is, Aaj Suraj Malik bol ke gaya. Important feeling, really, I'm already getting thoughts, I should be doing it, but kal karte hain, weekend hai, 15th August holiday hai, Diwali hai, birthday pe karunga. It will keep happening and it's there. How many in this room have done partial work? I said some bills, right? Partial. कुछ किया है, कुछ सोचा हुआ है, but फिर वो ठंडे बक्से में pile of papers में it has got somewhere, or your CA has not reverted, or you have to talk to someone which you have, right? How many of these partial cases are there, right? Quite a few, right? And if you want to share experience, right? What held you back? Why did it stop midway when you started it? Yeah. So you would like to priorities change, right? Someone back there also partially same. Yeah. So nomination, people feel bank mein kar diya. So nomination, except for insurance, is only a custody right. Legally, if you nominate me also, the bank is saving itself. We don't want to get entrapped in litigation. They will give me the money. Your successors will have to go and say that we are successors. I am only the fiduciary custodian. Only in insurance, nomination is a right. So who is your nominee? Insurance, that becomes wealth or direct ownership. Everywhere, nomination, lockers, share securities, banks, other things in some homes, also corporate societies, you're able to nominate, but that's not a legal right of that person. People feel at least it will save some administrative thing, but if there is, let's say, 2 children also in a family, the one who's not nominated can go and claim without a will that I have equal share. Today's India law is daughters have equal share, spouses have equal share. So if any of you all, I see very less diversity in Isoda for some reason, but if all the gentlemen here go without a will, your wife and your children will have equal shares. That is the law for most Hindu families, and there are exceptions for Muslim Christians, but that is the law. Even if your daughter is married, her share is equal with her mother and the son or her brother. That is, and if you want to achieve anything differently, you have to plan. And since COVID, right, people used to plan in their old age. Now the joke is life is so uncertain that you start planning fairly early because you don't know, right, where you come under a bus or how many more pandemics we would have. So why do this? As I said, it's your wish, it's your wealth. And the only way to achieve your wish is pen and down in writing. Very simple, wills, etc. Don't need any registration, don't need a document, don't need a lawyer. It's a simple expression of intent clearly, and your wealth will go to your beneficiaries. I'll talk about trust in a bit in the next slide, but if you are someone, if your business, you have to give, yeah.
So why? Because you just mentioned
Yeah.
that.
So legally it is not. If you're leaving behind children or siblings who are already fighting, the party who feels aggrieved, let's say you leave one son 80% of wealth in the other 12, it is natural that 20% guy will find ways to frustrate it. So challenge in India, I can challenge ownership of the softwares you distribute, saying you are not exclusive. This is India. having a written will made properly will not cause issues generally. The challenge will fail. So people tend to challenge to get something out of that frustration they will give to the other person. But legal. No, no. The law in India is clear. Will is a plain paper, no stamp duty, no registration. The problem with registration, I'll tell you, and in spite of being an advisor, I make more money when people register because there is an administrative step, is every time you change it, you have to register the change. So as you go older, going and standing in that place, getting your photo clicked, witness is not the happiest moment. And I said, the law doesn't require it. It's a plain paper made in good health, certified by 2 witnesses. That's all it needs. Sorry, two. Yeah, please. Yeah. So a lot of it's very Bollywoodish driven, not disclosing, but I would feel if your family doesn't know, then who do you leave it with? Like you need to have either a relative you trust or someone who will come and say this is valid. And the challenge is high, right? If the family says our parent never told us about this. So modern day thought processes tell your people, buy comfort, confidence in them and tell them this is where it is, this is where it is kept, this is what you need to do when this event happens, is the right way to plan. Keeping it with a lawyer, keeping it with someone who's not, what if that person is not around before you, right? Are a little old school thoughts from how people plan today or how larger families do. Yes, sir.
I understand as per Indian laws, plain paper.
Yeah.
Recently, I came across, I was told that you need to also attach a mental health certificate from a certified doctor. Is this true?
So required if you have history of
No, I
mental
don't have any
illness,
history,
health,
but I
yeah.
was.
So again, same,
advice.
to reduce the challenge, again with age, if some people are prone to being a little eccentric, it is better to say when you, the moment you're writing the will, the doctor say the person is in good health and sound mind. So the challenge to say my dad was influenced or someone coerced and all will not be there with that doctor certificate. The challenge in will get just knocked off and not be in 20 years in court. Sorry, sir, you were asking something. Yes, yes. So again, executor is a good to have point saying after me, if there are, let's say, 3 people who are going to get rights, who will ensure they get their rights. So you could appoint an executor, could be a professional also, could be outside the family. Otherwise, the beneficiaries have to themselves figure out and go and implement what your wishes were in the will.
Sir, one question.
Yeah.
Is there any time period of the will? Like, let's say I make a will today. Is it valid for like 1 year, 2 year, or entirety?
Till
of...
you don't change it, it's valid. Jab tak hai jaan, yeah, that's the, till you make it, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's better you don't go and show the will and get the settlement done without the will. So, is there a complication with courts or whatever legal things if you have the will? That was the question, probably. And
I
I was.
don't think so. Again, modern age, no complication if done well. If you don't, so as I said, this is going to play out when you're not going to be in this world. So any ambiguity, any lack of clarity, anything is left indeterminate. And as I said, more prone to challenges in today's time and age. If we are in 2023 or 2020, the thing is you do make it in a participative way, get people to understand why your thought process is and tell them this is where it is, this is where it exists. See, depriving children of wealth, again, I'm deviating, but wealthy families, again, within owners, I'm just saying, right? You all are wealthy families, your kids see you stay in little better houses than their friends. They see their parents as entrepreneurs, they go to better clubs, they go to better hotels, they perhaps go overseas holidays 2 times a year. Now, depriving them of the fact that there is wealth or what they expect is also making them either feel awkward toward wealth or not getting ready or capable to deal with, right? Depriving a child who's, let's say, in early teens to say you're a business owner's son and this is what is built is not the right grooming in today's time and age. Because he will see it all around. He will see my father, 10 people salute, and as this thing travels overseas, goes to conferences, does stuff. And he's understanding all this is happening, but is told that don't expect, work hard.
Yeah.
as I said, it is administrative. If you don't, and let's say, for properties in Bombay and West Bengal and, Tamil Nadu, some of people here, administratively without a will, let's say for the property, also for that single child to claim, he'll have to go to court in these 3 states. Other states have reformed laws. So in that moment of grief, and if this child moves to US, I have clients who's calling me, boss, if you can keep it, you keep it. I can't stand in that line and wait and go there and system doesn't work or whatever, right? This is the attitude they develop towards property. If they felt that their parents were not very organized, someone may not have the right paperwork, name would have changed if it's a daughter, etc., it becomes chaotic. So reducing chaos, that same backup argument that it is easier. You still do, yeah. I have clients telling me that, and it is saying, if you find a way, we don't know, but we will not. They've come twice. Again, Gurgaon property. One time power failure, the guy comes from the US, and you get a date. Nowadays, it's all pre-date. And second time, for some technical reason, it didn't go through. So they develop aversion, right? They're saying, when now to get it conveyed, then to come again to sell it, deal with cash. Kids overseas normally don't want to be in that, right? They want to simple click of button wealth, right? The financial assets. That's what the.
So in your opinion, writing it on a plain paper and then changing it as and when required is the best.
Yeah, revisit it once every year, 2 years, or as family dynamics change, right? That's the ideal thing to do. So it will help you. Sorry, any other questions? So I said it will help you. Some of your businesses, I don't know if you give indemnities to clients, if you give personal guarantees to banks, etc. Right? In a bad cycle, there are claims. Again, in services business, it is lesser. But in manufacturing businesses, in businesses which are more capex heavy, those personal guarantees come into play. So planning for succession, especially with trust, etc., helps to also protect your assets from the cycles when the business is against you, or any indemnity claims, right? Even in your business, if you sold a product and suddenly it doesn't work, and if that organization comes to you for your claims, they can go after everything that you own if the contract is made in that way. And that larger organization typically would have such rights. And if you want to protect your assets and your personal assets, etc., from it, you need to plan for this. Again, disputes, divorce, disability, all this you can't really plan and show, so it is important. Taxes in India currently, most of y'all are, again, you all would have seen wealth tax in some point of your life. We still have no taxes. We're only paying taxes on income in India. Again, as HNIs, most of you pay the highest tax, but no one is taxing your wealth. You keep adding wealth. Currently, there's no tax. There used to be one. And pre-1985, there used to be a tax on inheritance, which means after you go, there was a tax on your successors just getting property with some, at those days, there was a threshold. Every developed country today has an inheritance tax. They say income inequality will reduce only when we tax the rich. When they go away, we will take a part of their wealth to taxes to say inheritance. And every developed country, it is said that this tax, there is a common thing, UK, US have it for years now. And it is said this tax is paid by idiots. Because you know there is a tax when you're going to die. And if you didn't plan it in your lifetime, then you are an idiot, right? That is how they say, right? Inheritance and estate tax for idiots. Now, India, we will have to stop calling ourselves developing at some stage, or we have to recognize income inequalities are growing only, right? The rich in this country are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. Our politicians and economists will support theories to bring back taxes on wealth or on inheritance. It is around the corner when they do it. So today is the time, as I said, optimized taxes is to plan that today you can move your assets into structures or into ownership, and large families have done it. If you're saying Ambani, Birla, Tata have already done it, right? So in the orbit where they see the world from, today if you go and see, their wealth sits in things like trusts and other protected avenues and not as individuals. That is where the world is heading to. So as I said, right, you said it is a journey. It is not a one-time process, but you have to start somewhere. Maybe not as a kid, but as I said, early stage, when you start experiencing wealth, when you start seeing a balance sheet getting bigger, P&L getting bigger is a different thing. That is important. Now, this slide confuses a lot of people where I put a lot of reds against the will. Okay, abhi tak I was talking will, and now I'm comparing and saying reds. The reason is not that will is bad. The reason is trust can achieve a lot more when it comes to things like governance, when it comes to things like flexibility. And the biggest it is, you are seeing it play in your lifetime, because in a trust, your assets will move from your name. It is like an HUF. Some of you all might have HUFs. So it is not your balance sheet is separate, but in HUF you can't write a governance code because it is governed by Hindu law. In trust, you can write that you can have more flexibility for providing for different family needs or contingencies that you have. Excuse me. And this asset protection bit that I was telling you, which is if your assets are not in your name and they sit in a separate PAN, separate balance sheet, separate file, then the claims, whether it is indemnity or lenders or customers coming after you, that will stop at what you have. It will not go to your family assets, personal assets, etc. So the wealth that you're creating, or if you're taking salary also and reinvesting in house, financial assets, properties, etc., it is meaningful to at least consider having trust in families where the wealth side starts increasing. And that probate process is the last one, because if you've created wealth in a trust in your lifetime, it is there. You being in this planet or not is not changing it, because in the trust it continues to remain, right? People may come and go, but the asset continues to be in the trust. It's not very easily attachable or transferable, etc. So I've talked about ownership as succession, but as business owners, and all of you all are, again, the same example, right? It is not just about ownership in business. You need to think about authority. So leadership and management, this need not be your children. Again, this is a industry of technical people, technical strength. You can split the thing that my ownership will go to family, but leadership management, I can bring professionals. I can define how that succession would work. And of values, right? A lot of you all boast about having relations. Even this connects of the products that you're distributing, right, is an asset that you have. And you have to transition that relationship of the product that you are reselling, or of the company that you have, or of the client that you're servicing, to someone in a structured, logical way. Otherwise, it will all get fizzled out here, because it's all here, right? It's nowhere else. And the succession for those are little different than for ownership. I'd done a survey, and that's why I put this slide, that a lot of people of you all said that how do we get our next gen interested in the business? We are doing fine and all, but they are just not interested. Sorry. And these are just some of the things. I will not go through that. The slides will be there. But more important, as I said, is to just define that vision and values, right? What you are doing, what your vision is, why are you in this business? Why are you not in a job? Why are you not working back into someone else? And why are you creating your brand? What your customers mean to you? If that is co-created with them, their alignment to it is better. Otherwise, they will feel dad is going out, selling a product, getting margins, coming home, buying cars, living happy life. Then they don't relate to the business, that with what ethics and with what values are you conducting, and how you are differentiated with everyone else out there. So that piece is more important. Others are, as I said, good things for you to relate to. They're all self-explanatory, so I will not spend too much time on that. This is also a process. We can leave it. The second part, right? I'm coming straight to the second part. We discussed about succession, and I know all of you all have started to feel it is important. And I hope some of you all actually do go ahead and implement. It's just like the cyber security or the backup, right? It's not any rocket science. When Ashok Ji and I spoke, the exit bit also came out, right? You all wanted to know about M&A valuations, or where is the, like, when you came into the hotel, the first thing you saw, exit sign. If a security guy, not cyber security here, would have started the conference, he would have said, do dwar wahan hai, do yahan hai, that board, right? So anything you start has to have a exit. Okay, that is one kind of physical come financial security. If you're doing something without the exit goal or clarity, that where will this path end, is, as I said, then it is fuzzy logic. You will keep going round and round and round, not knowing what your destination is. Exit planning doesn't mean sell your business. It is just saying, how do you overcome hurdles, right? So if your path is there and you're taking a path to exit, saying, I want to monetize, I want to retire, I want to bring someone, I want to bring a professional, I want to combine I met someone at the conference, I want to do something. It is partial exit. But how do you sort of, discussions are easy, but how do you overcome the path is what we discuss. Now, what causes this exit? Internal and external. One is unplanned retirement, sudden health reasons, sudden issues where you start, or you find just enough, right? I've done enough. It's generally unplanned, because you wake up one day and then your mind says, bas ho gaya, ab nahi karna hai. There are bandwidth issues. Suddenly your business starts growing too much and you realize, I can't handle more than 10 customers, I can't handle more than 20 customers. These are triggering exits. Sometimes the industry is changing. the industry, the technology, let's say in your cases, and you realize I was good at whatever, Windows, right? I heard, right? Selling Windows was so much easier. Selling a cyber security software was so much easier, but selling a solution, sending something integrated is, you also need to learn and do, right? In your industry, it's not like selling a packaged, FMCG product. It's very different. If you don't talk sense, your clients will not. Maybe sometimes more features of the products than the product manufacturers themselves, right? Because you work around on so much real life use cases. They are designing it in a sort of test environment, if I may say. So capability becomes an issue. Sometimes family only, right? Two people at some point decide we can't work together. So let's shut this down. Let's find something else, or let's give it away to someone. Conflicts, dispute, I said, and finally at some stage I said, right, that exit is the cash out desire that I've done. I've built something. It is now relevant. That baby is relevant to someone else. These are drivers. External is sometimes your business needs capital. That is more common. If your performance is either very good, you will get acquired. If it's very bad, someone will come and take you over. So performance both ways triggers exit. Workforce experience. If your key team leaves, I'm sorry using that example. If Vermaji's Mr. Yadav leaves, he will suddenly have an exit situation, right? Because he will say, I planned on this guy, managing everything, and suddenly he's not there. That was beyond his control. He planned it well, but the workforce couldn't there. Or someone really comes after you. This guy has a tie-up with whatever, SAP distributing them, and if I get him, I get the vendor code, I get the access, etc. People can, approach it in different things. And a lot of time nowadays, it's all about fulfillment, right? मुझे business के बाहर कुछ करना है, I want to have other purposes. The gentleman has written a book relating his data knowledge to, helping families get happier and relate to purpose, etc. Right? So that fulfillment, sir, maybe you have more now on coaching people than, as I said, right, making revenue out of technical product, right? So that fulfillment call changes. Oops. So we all, as I said, right, you should know aeroplane, dwar kahan, exit, everyone tells you. Do aage, do piche. If it's unplanned, if it's distress, there is an emergency, sudden financial need, you've grown your business, working capital, I'm sure all of you all struggle. Suddenly working capital chahiye, growth aa rahi hai, order hai, customer is asking for deployment credit. If it's unplanned and you have business, everything is right, but you are suddenly out of cash. That is like an unplanned or distressed. Sometimes it is forced on you. You didn't plan it. Let's say your brother decided, I'll remove this person, or someone else, your JV partner decided, I don't want to do business with any of you. Or unforeseen, right, because of health or other reasons, retirement. This event is high stake and emotional, right? We are talking about it because anything that is emotional needs planning, right? You plan your wedding, you plan your 40th birthday, you plan a lot of things in life, which is also an exit, right? Your teenager party nowadays, everyone has kids, right? They are planning that exit from bachpan to now becoming teenager, right? You plan your graduation. It's all an exit from a phase of life, but it needs planning. So does your business. Planned exit could typically mean, apart from M&A, which is commonly you're saying raise capital partially or fully, it could also mean that there are part of businesses which are loss-making, non-core. When you started, I saw someone had products, 30 products they are doing. And they will someday realize maybe 5 are not relevant. And that is also exiting and freeing up bandwidth from those products or solutions. Or as I said, diversifying, some of you coming together or doing things. And most common, as I said, M&A will be to raise capital to go. You have the next session again on valuation. Someone is going to come and talk about it. And when you are thinking of building valuations for growing, what it means. I'm going to talk more upon the clarity, right? That why are you exiting? You should have that in place. You shouldn't get distracted. Today you meet someone, he makes you an offer, and you go home and think, fine, it looks meaningful. I can buy a nice house in Kerala and settle down. It can't happen that way, right? The clarity of what exit means to you, to your family, to your lifestyle, to your employees, to your people is important. This is some of your own responses. 50%, as I said, right? Majority of you all said that we don't know when, we don't know to whom, and we don't know at what price, right? And it is common, right? Because you all are so busy in running business day to day that you've not thought that if I have to exit, when and how, and who will actually find relevance. It's easy to make business partnerships and networks. It's very difficult to convince someone to give you a value for what you build, especially when it is slightly, I would say, SME, MSME, right? Because barriers are less, people can, recreate it. and they always believe that people run it like what in North we call Lala business, which means the business will be full of tax planning issues, inefficiencies, etc. So it takes interest away. About 60% said that you've not assessed the value what you need, right? If you were to exit, how much money do you think you need exactly, right? And are you planning for that? More than 70% said that, right? The value perception, you feel I have a great business, I'm exclusive distributor of blah, blah, blah company. No one in India has it. Maybe that's my value and the market size is so much. But, you know, you haven't really thought that in reality, whether someone will give you that valuation for what you have or what you've cracked or the relationship that you've got. And it gets, as I said, more and more people said that, you know, we want smooth transition. We want it. I'd like to say that about 80-90% said we want it to be hassle free. And I can understand that, right? Because it's difficult. But not planning for it is not going to make it hassle free at all. So when you're in a deal, there are three things: बेचना है, the decision, and what are your business and personal goals, the why. किसको बेचना है is the who, and understanding that different type of buyers are there. Could be a strategic person, could be your competitor, could be a bigger player, could be a startup who feels that, you know, you have great access, right? I saw customer list on quite a few of you, and a startup would feel forget their product. If they have access to these companies, I could, you know, just use that access to sell something else. So there are different kind of buyers who can emerge. And the why, right? The story and the price. Again, the price will be more, I think, next session on valuation. But what is your story? I mean, why should someone buy you? How are you differentiated, etc.? This is very, very important when you are in this thought process of planning. Again, I'm not saying that do this when you've decided to sell. Do this pre and do this like an annual thing. That what is our story? How are we, you know, differentiated? I like the gentleman who spoke about rank secure, right? He had a story. He said, I'm differentiated. He spoke about 200% discount, etc., right? He had this story right among anything else. I don't know the numbers, but the story felt far much in space. You know, as computer guys, right, you have the shift key in life. So this is another shift key you press for yourself. It changes the function of everything in a keyboard once you press it. The things that you should be concerned about is the money that you get. A lot of, again, mid-market people feel na bada hote rehte hain. Let's add to revenue, let's add contract, let's add people, etc. Growth and valuations are not related. Just because you have a bigger top line doesn't mean you are more valuable. You could be boutique, you could be niche, but if you are niche, if you are high margin, if you are, you know, in that small pond also a big fish where your clients and your edge you have sometimes will give you far greater value than just the top line or just having more headcount, you know, in this industry in some sense. So chasing value to say I just keep growing at lower margins or thinner margins or loss, which is fashionable in the startup world today, doesn't necessarily mean you know, it is value. And second, when someone is giving you value also, it is not equal. You have to compare what you're getting today versus someone saying, let's do a deal today, I'll pay you 3 years. He's effectively going to pay you out of your own business cash flows, etc. So what that means to you, and are you getting cash, are you getting stock, etc. The terms of that, a lot of people in family businesses want to be associated after selling also, because it's like a baby, right? You're saying, I'm giving it to someone else. I want to be around to ensure transition. I want to be around to stay relevant. I want to keep coming to office. I want to feel important, but I've given up all the risk and headache. But you have to negotiate those terms for your continuity. Some of you all also feel I will end this and I will do something in an adjacent sector because I see that opportunity rising and all. But if your contracts or if your terms are not well negotiated, most buyers will restrict you from doing similar or adjacent businesses, right? Because you have connects and capability. So negotiating terms is important. Timing is important. People can keep sniffing around, agreeing to do deals with you. And I might do a handshake today and just take 6 months, a year. It doesn't happen. So these are things that have to happen. Just like your deals close in 2-3 meetings, 3 months, this is also a deal. It has to close. And while the closing happens, again, family-owned business, biggest is, it's like when you buy a house, when you buy a car, right? The day it actually comes, right? You all develop cold feet. Am I doing the right thing? You'll call 10 people. You know, is it worth it? Is this area fine? Am I doing it right? That cold feet happens because of lack of clarity of what your business and personal goals were. So we've seen people reach that stage, everything agree, there is a prize, and then one fine day they say, no, I want to go back, I want to be with my team, I like being busy going to office. I don't want to translate that to wealth today. I maybe just push it on, or I don't like this guy during negotiations. He told me something that I didn't like, so I will just not do this deal. A lot of times there are people in the market who will claim to be buyers, paisa hai, but in real terms it's not there. So if you don't diligence that well, and sometimes approvals, right? Again, in your business, because what I heard, you are selling a business because you have a distribution right of someone. But what if that entity refuses to engage with your buyer, right? So you need approvals, they are consent, licenses, etc. You need to pre-plan, those continuity consents as well, if that license or if those benefits are available to them. Some of the things is important is once people एक बार switch off होता है ना, मैंने सोच लिया मुझे बेचना है business, people then stop thinking about growth at all that P&L that I spoke, right? What you do day to day, that cannot stop because that is the most critical period. The buyer is looking at recent performance. So your business as usual has to continue, and like today you are growing, during that exit period also you have to continue and maybe show more growth because that is what the buyer is seeing in terms. All the old historical data is something else. Uh, Everything gets delayed, especially taking over a business. There are issues, so expect lots and lots of delay. A typical 10 crore M&A deal takes between 6 to 12 months. Someone who says, I know the buyer, he'll buy your business, is not sitting with a blank check there. He will have his own process, people, integration issues. Someone like you coming and looking at data, cyber security, your own backups, etc., and it will take time. Without advisors, I said, you can't buy a house without a broker. You can't get married without a, what we call in North Bicholia. You need a person in the middle because as principals to principals, deals don't happen. Anything of size you see, without a car salesman, you can't buy a car. It is as simple as that, no matter how much you like it. There has to be that person who will keep the people interested, solve for them, do that sensitive communication at times, and happen the deals through. Without that, to save few pennies, to say I will not engage an advisor, I will go it myself, things don't work. Your own data challenges, people, if I ask people, right, do you know your 3-year trends on customers? Who's your top 5 customers? What are their margins? People are not very well prepared for it because you don't look at business that way. You're looking at it from a cash to cash basis, that this year my bank balance was here, I got here, my monthly cost is this much, my incremental cash is here. It ignores that. Quite a lot of times someone will tell you, usko ye deal mil gaya, he got this, that buyer gave him that, right? It is all hearsay. Even in the news, when you read about deals, the top line numbers and the real numbers, it's very different. So don't get carried away by someone getting a deal or not getting a deal. Your facts are always going to be different from someone else. No two businesses are ever alike. And people get like, just because your competitor got or did not get a value doesn't mean that you will get the same or better or worse. It's your business will be judged very independently. And sometimes the team becomes very anxious if you don't plan that. Imagine your team leaves saying that लाला जी जा रहे हैं, मैंने तो इनको जाना था, मैं इनको समझता हूँ, मुझे इनके साथ अच्छा लगता है, मेरा ध्यान रखते हैं, he knows me well, I can't work with the next guy, seems aggressive, will want more growth, I am not capable of that. If that team moves, your valuation is going away. So you have to keep them very interested. And the last one is the temperament, right? Again, as IT guys, maybe you guys, service orientation guys have better temperament because you handle clients day in and day out. Business guys who are in manufacturing, right, to go and sit in a shop where there is a machine, producing and selling and dispatching, they struggle with this temperament because उन्होंने किसी को, they don't have those clients who keep poking them everything, right? Unlike in the services industries where we know that a client, हम सबका गर्दन थोड़ा सा झुका होता है in a consulting industry, in a client. Even an assistant manager in your industry, as a client, you will become little, you have that natural thing. In the deal situation, it is that ladke wale, the buyer is always the ladke wala, the buyer will have, weight to be thrown around. And if you lose your temper, ki mujhe aisa kaise bol diya, it will not work at all, right? You have to have that temperament to deal with that thing. Different type of buyers. I'm not going to cover this because a lot of this is there, but you should know what your buyer is looking, right? People just feel that मैं expect कर रहा हूँ. He also wants to earn, right? He's paying you money to earn. So you have to demonstrate to him not that the business is fully valued today. And if the business is fully valued today, someone is paying you full price, how will he earn? So there has to be something on the table that is left for him. The buyer is looking transparency and disclosure, openness from not just you, your business leaders, your data, your books, your affairs, right? You will have to give it to it. The buyer will look at scalability. You've got it from, let's say, 0 to 1 or 1 to 10, that journey. The buyer is saying, is there scope for that 10 to become 100? And things like housekeeping and own, right? If you might have a great business, great clients, but if your internal affairs are messy, buyers will find or just start imagining of skeleton in the closet, just start imagining of potential liabilities, etc. You don't pay whatever overtime, or you don't have ESG compliance, or you don't have PF properly paid, or you pay incentives in cash to your distributors, to your business partners. All this is going to haunt you when they see a line item in your books to say commission to my business partners, but the entry is some random person who gave you cash to give cash, etc. Right? That will create their own thing. And any buyer, like if you buy stocks, stock market, right? Every day trading happens in stock market. Someone is saying value, I'm selling, someone is buying. So the buyer is also buying for eventual exit. This is my slide on valuation, the invisible man, and I'm going to talk about maybe just 2 points here. It is not exact science, right? You will hear about this in the next session. But what is controllable is your negotiation readiness, right? The circumstance, like today we are all saying it is funding winter, less cash, Western countries in recession, so less IT business, etc. Right? You can never control it. But how well you are ready for your negotiations is controllable, and irrespective of outcomes, deals happen, and deals happen at premium if you are ready because someone has capital to deploy. Family businesses ignore this, right? They just focus on numbers, numbers, numbers. One of the biggest risk in your business is yourself, because everything is here. You have not documented it. You have not, because IT guys, right? As documentation is important to your product, it is important to your business. If it is all here, it goes with you. No one can buy it. No one can extract your brain and keep ये relationship ऐसा ये client को ये अच्छा लगता है इनके issue इस product में ये bug है जिसका ये hack है. If it's all here, it will become like a massive issue. If your management team and family is not congruent, or if your governance, like same points, right? And nowadays, more and more people are seeing innovation. More and more people are saying what products they are doing. Again, in for manufacturing, they are looking at things like ESG and all. These are things which will not show in your numbers, but will show in your conduct, will show in your intent, will show in how you're reinvesting your profit, allocating towards innovation, etc. That is what is important. How deals happen, again, a full science. This is a 1 day sort of, this slide itself can take 1 day. But you could either sell a business which is there, or you could sell your entity. A lot of y'all who are thinking of exit who don't operate in corporate structures, again, is a big lead time, right? Some of you have partnership firms, proprietorship firms. These entity formats in today's time and age are not open to fundraise or exit. You have to corporatize your business. You at minimum need a private company or an LLP, which will enable you to, make it investor friendly and all. And I said, right, other things for an employees having skin in them, ESOPs and all is important. Listing, a lot of people talk about, right? Is listing an exit? The answer is no. Listing is only an event in life. You continue to be promoter, right? No promoter after listing says, this is not my company. You are promoter, you are founder. So it is only an event in life, which is capital raising and you becoming more public. That is the only change. It is not an exit to think I'm creating my business for IPO. IPO के बाद काम कम नहीं होता, ज़्यादा होता है. Because you are not answerable to anyone. Now you will have an AGM like this, sitting people, shareholders asking questions, more disclosure, more governance, quarterly. आप सब balance sheet आराम से बनाते हैं October में, I know, but now you have to make it quarterly and you have to give guidance on revenue and all. So it is a lot of hard work. But to get to that, right, there is this SME exchange, if you would have heard on, both the BSc, NSC has. That is a good prep platform because it doesn't cost much, but it gives you the habit of operating in a governed, well regulated, and it will grease your business for other things. And just for comparative, in our country, again, that exchange was prone to various issues of lack of liquidity. Investors is getting better. In a country like China, most mid-market businesses go and list on the SME exchange, and that gives comfort. It helps to attract retail guys also, not just private investors, to say the numbers are coming every quarter, there is compliance, there is disclosure, there are good auditors, etc. Last two slides. I hope I'm in time. So what you should not do, as I said, lack of clarity, business or personal goals, if they are not aligned, you cannot exit because you will be confused here. And only a psychiatrist can solve it. No advisor, no financial advisor can. Sometimes crisis, right? One big client go away. I've heard people saying, I want to exit. This business is tough. It's a crisis. That's not how things work. If one big client could be swinging your bandwidth for 5 new clients you could add. Yeah. 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 But look at. Yeah. Yeah. Now the. Yeah. You have to be relevant, be around, right? So Indian cricket team or in sports, now the team is you be around. Earlier the captain felt highest position. Now I go out. I retire as captain. Now the captain becomes a line player because he's grooming the next captain is across in sports and other industries, even in corporates. When they elect a chairman through a more democratic process, the person earlier used to leave. That was if I was Nestle chairman, the day I have 5 years to retirement. But if I made it chairman 50, at 55 I used to leave the company. Now the trend is continue, groom the next guy for the remaining 5 years, become a normal line, person. So that is important. Choice of advisors, again, there are several there. Like any other product, different people are there. You need to choose that carefully. Not involving your core team will do a lot of, duk your people will wonder. Some people are coming, looking at data. Boss is meeting this. I don't know. People get to know, right? Market is small. They'll check with your customers. They'll hire agencies to talk to your employees. But you have to employ, at least the core team should know that if this is the plan, they have to fully align to it. Presentation is a big issue with, again, mid-market companies, because again, it is all here. You're not able to tell your story well through an information memorandum. Yeah. So easiest way is, as I said, start, but when you're taking a decision, start recording basis of decision. When someone comes to you for a decision, convert that thing कि मेरे से पूछ के कर लिया, mail पे okay लिख दिया, right? Basis of decision gets recorded. Basis of every action in large corporates is generally recorded. And it is then built on consensus. So if it's also one person key man risk, if you groom your family or key people and all, suddenly everyone will know how the owner is thinking, what are the drivers, etc. That is how that change will happen. It is not overnight. It is not writing a manual for a product. It is not a manual. It is a conduct. It's like a code of conduct, code of practice that will make a business into an institution. But you need to start practicing it from somewhere, that that okay on an email is not how the organization will operate. Calling you and saying we are taking this decision, giving discount to a customer is not a call which you are saying baat hogi meri boss se. It has to say these are the logics, these are the merits we see, this is the business, and then tracking it, right? We gave this customer discount. Did we get that ROI or not? So that is what will change and give you data to take decisions on your own business. Otherwise, it is saying my cost is fixed, incremental business coming. That thought process is always subscale. You have to think business like in every decision that you take. So flow of information, people again send, there are two buyers, send random stuff, something, some CA is sending, someone else is sending. You have to control, orchestrate that, it is important. Any buyer will want to deal with your management also, so you have to prep them, kya bolna hai, kya nahi bolna hai, kaise conduct karna hai, including some ex-employees. Most buyers, like if I am on the buy side, I would talk to your company's ex-employee also कि यहाँ क्या होता था, क्योंकि ना ex-employee ना वो जितना बोलता है कोई भी नहीं बोलता. He says everything, right? Boss अच्छे हैं तो अच्छा बोलता है, खराब है खराब बोलता है. आपके कंपनी में एंट्री घूमती है तो वो भी वो बोलेगा ex-employee. And you will not be able to control, but it is important to reach out and prep them also, that if you get a ref check, if you get a call, this is the narrative, help or support, and then people do support. Tax, we are all driven, right? We don't like paying taxes, but if you make it very, very complex for your buyer, कि मुझे कुछ पेमेंट यहाँ कर देना, मेरी एक दुबई में कंपनी है वहां दे देना, उस कस्टमर को मैं वैसे कर दूंगा, the buyer will walk away. People don't like to deal with complexity. Like every time you buy anything, you want to do simple. Look at it from the buyer's lens and not your own tax planning. Tax is a consequence. If you earn money, you will pay tax. It is period. Just respect that and be less creative on that side, right? Don't try to oversolve for tax. Losing time plan also, as I said, right? मैं exit कर रहा हूँ, उसी में चलता रहेगा तो नहीं होगा. You have to adhere and close it. And the last one is people, okay, I got an offer, I got a term sheet. It's like a client, right? He gives you an LOI. If you start celebrating at that stage, it's not done, right? You celebrate when you get the contract, when it is. But again, when it comes to exit, some buyer comes and gives you an LOI. you start celebrating ki ho gaya, and then the energy is dipped, and then in real life it doesn't happen. So these are, things you should not do. And the things that you should do is, like so I said, right, institutionalize your business, make it a business family, have your growth part. I think the valuation person will also talk about a slightly defendable but aggressive business plan. People are buying your future, not your past. So you should have that business plan articulation, which story that the future lies here. I saw some people talk about future and opportunities and the products that they're doing. That is what people buy. If you're selling MS 10, 11, what, sorry, I'm just saying, right? But if that is past, no one is going to, buy into that. It is like the old BPO telecalling. No one buys into that today. There was that period where people bought into telecalling, body shop organizations. It's finished now, right? There's no one willing to give a premium for that. So yeah, build some of these things. Anticipate questions. There'll be more questions and more questions. Think that you yourself didn't think about your business. Your buyer will, because for him he's a clean slate and he's getting into the unknown. My last slide. Finally, that exit door. Whether you are doing succession or exit, right? Both you have to do at some stage of life. If you're not exiting, plan for succession. If you want to exit today, 2 years later, 5 years later, plan for exit. But both are not same. Succession is grooming, as said, for management, for ownership, planning that. Exit is preparing for exit. You can start today or push it to tomorrow or whatever, but it is never going to be too early. In all this process, you realize common sense, right? But communication, a lot of work that we do is just communication within family, communication with team, communication with buyer. It's all about communication. And that cultural fitment, right? Your next gen, whether is culturally fit to handle or is your buyer culturally fit to you? It is an important thing you can't ignore. As I said, time is not in your control. So you should have that runway, what they talk about, or a plan that if I'm thinking exit today, maybe 2027, I might exit, is a realistic thought for mid-market businesses. And I said, right, the conversion from a family business to business family, that is what we said, right? You have to be a business family and not a family business which is meant to be there. Happy to take questions, and this is just the team. We have another partner of mine here, Saurabh. We're all based in Delhi, but we do work pan-India on estate succession. Yes, sir. I'm in Gurgaon, actually.
What is a better way of, is it a will versus a family partition?
Family partition is more when you're splitting.
I know, but is it better to do a will or?
Will. Family partition is a jurisprudence document to settle disputes. Without a dispute, family partition is meaningless. Family partition presumes a dispute.
Not necessarily.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So that also presumes a dispute, that you are settling disputes.
I'll talk to you because we did one for.
So family, when you're saying everything is fine in harmony, but you're only saying who gets what.
So the legal transfers happen in front of.
Which is in while you are alive.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is what we call restructuring. Maybe then so yeah, in your lifetime, solve whatever you can, and what you want to give, solve through a will. Family settlement is a document to settle disputes. Yeah. Yeah.
In a private limited company, if you want to, for whatever reason you want to exit,
yeah,
and if you're a small company and you don't have any, buyers or things like that, so the only way is that you shut it down, you pay taxes, and you get the money to the directors, or is there any other alternative way?
Cash locked in a private company?
Of course. I mean, you see, most of the people sitting here would be having the private limited company. Some of them may be public, or some of them may be proprietor. So proprietor, it's become easier,
Yeah.
But in a private limited organization, if at any certain stage of your age, when you decide.
So when you stop, there is funds or cash sitting in that.
Of course.
Assets. Yeah. So you're saying, how do we bring it to the family?
Yes. I mean, if there are no buyer, like one thing is, okay, you find a buyer, you've talked a lot about,
if there's no buyer, so as I said, the company is left with a irrelevant business, slowly winding down, and cash, right? Ultimately, there will be If the company is worth what it was in the past, there'll be some profit.
Like today, what I know of is, let's say if you have 1 crore rupee as a
Yeah.
fixed deposit in the company, which
Yeah.
is your capital, which is there after you clear all your debtors,
Yeah.
creditors, your all taxation
Yeah.
liabilities. You simply pay the tax of
Yeah.
33% or
And
35,
take it
whatever
out.
is applicable,
Yeah.
and take out the money,
Yeah.
which is like highest slab of the tax
Yeah.
you pay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is that the only way, or is there are some other ways?
So before ways, I would say is also that what does that wealth mean to you? Because if your business, if you want to just continue to invest, you don't want to like distribute it in family. One way is to make that entity your investing arm of the family, and you will put it in some financial products. You will put it something there, or you could do new asset creation there to save or procrastinate that tax, which is the better answer. Distributing is a more relevant way. You want to split it, think now we remove the entity, family comes and brothers, sisters, whatever, right? Children, you want to give it that way. Then you have to pay a tax. That is the only way. You can reduce that tax instead of dividend. There are some modes like buybacks, or there are some more other modes which you can use to reduce the incident of tax. A share buyback is taxed today at about 20 plus surcharges 24. Dividend is at 35. So there is a 10-11% arbitrage. There is a way to convert such small companies into LLPs. There is a conversion process, but then there is a waiting period for 5 years. So if you're okay with that, if you seized your business, you convert your company to LLP, and 5 years later you can withdraw that profit without paying tax.
And second thing you were talking about when Prashantji asked
Yeah.
that, where do you start, like documenting whatever is there in the head? Now you said that, okay, it's not a one-day process. It's something which you have to,
Yeah.
keep recording and all. But the point is, in your whole lifespan,
Yeah.
let's say you work for 30, 40 years, there are so many business relationships you engage with customers
Yeah.
and all. As much as you want, you may not be able to articulate it in a fashion which is most,
Understand.
this thing. And then when some unfortunate incident happens, it happens suddenly. Now, if you're
Understand.
gone, I mean, if your company is being run by
Sure.
whatever successor or whosoever
Sure.
is running it, how do you really capture that?
So
I
you
mean,
can't solve for the past, right? That I mean, but today, if you define how we take decisions, that I'm saying is the starting point. Today, you say from 1st September in this company, decisions will be taken with proper record of basis of decision, authority of who can take that decision, and outcome is mapped. One. Second is things like KPIs, recorded, track. So the more you record and track things, the more that knowledge stays. You know why, what positions are taken, you know why some customers are important, you know why some business is important, and you know also some of those calls whether they worked right or not in hindsight if they were documented. Otherwise, out of memory, you will only remember either the very good parts or the very bad parts, right? But the business as usual parts, our minds don't capture well. So we call it governance. You catch it today, and it will, let's say in 12 to 24 months, you will automatically see the beauty. It will just slow you down a little bit in the beginning because you're not used to it. You're used to, trigger happy promoters, right? Typically, I'm fast, I can take decisions. But if you just slow that process down, tell your team also to have proper documentation record and communicate within your family that as a family, this is how we'll take decisions. It will automatically emerge, and it will help you to do the right things because that trigger happy mein hi galtiyan hoti hai. That if I know I can take a decision, I can sign a check, ye deal karte hain. Let's invest in this BD budget. Let's go to US, spend 20 lakhs. But if someone says this is why we are going, this is what meeting, this is potential, this is what they're working with, is how you will gradually institutionalize.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Prepare someone for
Yeah.
the
Yes.
way forward.
Yes.
Supposing there's someone who's wanting to plan an exit.
Yeah.
Let's say 12 months or 18 months down the line. You guys help
Yes.
them prepare.
It
how
needs
to-
that much time. It needs
Yes.
at least
That
12
is
months. Yeah.
what I thought.
So we sit in review meetings, we define protocols, we work a lot with the team also, right? The owner is relatively the more mature and I said the smartest guy in the room. So the owner only needs to be restrained from doing some hyper things, but the team preparedness, the function preparedness, some positions have to be filled. We sort of project manage all of it. We are not business guys, right? I will not be able to run the business for you, but define the framework on how you operate and
then help to find a potential
yes,
buyer
yes.
also.
We don't underwrite that, but on best effort basis, we
Of
help.
course,
Yeah.
that's understandable.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to call Satya on stage to facilitate. Yeah, Mr. Saurav, Suraj, and Raj. Can you call Saurav also?
Saurabh,
Yeah.
all the lovely slides were done by him. I only do the talking, but he did all the.
How do we reach you, Suraj?
I think Mr. Ashok has all the coordinates and all. I do come to Bangalore once a quarter. Oh, amazing. So, Bombay, Delhi, and all. Okay, great. I hope I have luggage allowance for this. Thank you so much. This is really nice. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
We'll have a tea break. Okay, just couple of announcements. There are some people who were supposed to check out, have not checked out. We are getting follow-up calls from the rooms, from the hotel. So please, if just check out your name is here. I'm not announcing any names, but if you've given a thing that you're going to check out, please do check out because there's a follow-up, continuous follow-up happening. So, should I announce the names? Yeah. Yeah, so Mr. Rajesh Loknath, Malaya Venkata, Tamanna, Arvind Menon, Nitin Janardhan, and Tarun Chawla. So these are the names who had, who are in the list. So they are looking for you to check out. So we'll just have a small tea break for 10 minutes, and then we assemble back. Thank you.
Friends, we've just got the last two sessions. One is from our own BD Soft. Then we have a wonderful speaker going to speak to us on a business valuation. We have got. So those are two sessions. Let's take a quick coffee break and come back in 10 minutes so that we can wind up early, right? Thank you.